Diddy, also known as Sean Combs, built a reputation not only as a music mogul, but also as the king of extravagant celebrity parties. His events were legendary for their opulence, lavish settings, exclusive guest lists, and performances from the biggest names in entertainment. These bashes were more than just parties, they were the ultimate status symbol for anyone lucky enough to snag an invite. But now, the world that Diddy ruled has come crashing down. Today, Sean Combs faces a very different reality. Once at the heart of New York's most glamorous events, he now finds himself in solitary confinement in a Brooklyn detention center, facing federal charges that include sex trafficking, racketeering, and more. It's a shocking fall from grace for a man who once embodied success, excess, and the ultimate celebrity lifestyle. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 things you need to know about P. Diddy's rise and scandalous fall. 25. The evolution of P. Diddy's parties. P. Diddy's legendary parties didn't start out as the over-the-top spectacles they became. It all kicked off with a barbecue in the Hamptons, where Sean Combs, whether you called him Puffy, Puff Daddy, or P. Diddy, invited over 200 guests, many from old money circles. The media crowned him a modern-day Gatsby, and he loved it. In one 2001 interview, he even declared, "I am the great Gatsby." What started small quickly blew up into star-studded affairs. Diddy wasn't just hosting parties, he was putting on shows. His get-togethers became famous for their big-name guests, crazy themes, and entertainment that pushed the boundaries of everything that was holy. By the time he threw his last white party in 2009, Diddy was the king of celebrity parties. 24. The birth of P. Diddy's legendary white parties. P. Diddy's white parties didn't just shake things up, they transformed the entertainment scene. Launched in the late 90s, these over-the-top events blended hip-hop royalty with the old money elite in a way no one had seen before. The strict all-white dress code became legendary. And the extravagance, from private jets flying in guests to all-white Rolls Royces lined up outside and venues adorned with diamond chandeliers and silk drapes, set a new standard. Being invited wasn't just a status symbol, it was proof you'd made it. 23. Who got to attend? Diddy's white parties drew a mix of Hollywood's biggest names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Jay-Z, and Paris Hilton, alongside hand-picked up-and-comers and influencers. But you needed more than just fame to secure a spot. These parties were key networking hubs. In addition to blacklists for those who fell out of favor, insiders even claimed that backdoor bribes and personal favors were used to ensure a spot at these exclusive events. The coveted invitations became a status symbol, and rumors of backdoor bribes only heightened the scandal surrounding who made the cut. 22. The strict white dress code. The all-white dress code at Diddy's parties wasn't just a suggestion, it was a rule. Guests who ignored it or tried to bend the rules faced real consequences. Some were turned away at the door, no matter how famous they were, while others faced the embarrassment of being called out publicly. The exclusivity of these events relied heavily on this uniformity, and those who didn't comply were seen as disrespecting the vibe, so you either conformed or stayed away. Hey guys, just jumping in here real quick to tell you some exciting news. You know how you love watching our videos for amazing facts? Well, what if I told you that you could also have 500 amazing facts in the palm of your hand? That's right, we wrote a book. This one right here. What the facts are you talking about? And you can order it right now and have List 25 right in your library or on your coffee table or wherever it is you keep your books. It's available right now on Amazon, so click the link in the description and grab yourself and friends and family a copy today. 21. Over-the-top white outfits. Apart from conformity, Diddy's all-white dress code became a runway for the stars. Guests like Mariah Carey, Lil' Kim, and Paris Hilton flaunted extravagant gowns, designer jewelry, and daring outfits that made headlines. Fashion at these parties reached a new level, with some attendees pushing boundaries by blending luxury with bold statements. From elaborate white suits to sparkling accessories, the outfits were just as much a spectacle as the events themselves. 20. The Wildest Entertainment. The entertainment at Diddy's white parties was nothing short of extravagant. A night could include everything from dancers performing inside giant plastic bubbles to live sets from A-list artists and poolside champagne showers becoming the norm. One year even saw Ashton Kutcher swing across the pool like Tarzan, leaving guests stunned. It wasn't just about music and drinks. These parties became full-blown experiences where the spectacle itself kept people talking long after the night ended. 19. White parties for a cause. Although Diddy's white parties were known for their extravagance, some had a charitable side. In 2009, Diddy partnered with Ashton Kutcher to host a party promoting malaria awareness, blending celebrity glamour with a philanthropic cause. Unfortunately, despite the good intentions, the charity aspect was often eclipsed by the infamous after-parties. Today, many A-listers, including Ashton, steer clear of discussing what really happened, leaving the charitable efforts overshadowed by the wild behavior that followed. 18. Diddy's iconic venues. When it came to Diddy's white parties, location was everything. From sprawling estates in the Hamptons to luxurious mansions in Beverly Hills, each venue oozed exclusivity and indulgence. Every detail, from custom lighting to lavish decor, was designed to immerse guests in pure opulence. But it wasn't always smooth sailing. Neighbors often complained about the noise, and on more than one occasion police had to step in to deal with reports of drug use and scantily clad or naked guests wandering the streets. 17. The Declaration of Independence stunt. In 2004, Diddy took extravagance to the next level at one of his famed white parties by displaying an original copy of the Declaration of Independence. Borrowed from TV producer Norman Lear, who had purchased the historical document for $8 million, this over-the-top stunt was part of a 4th of July Get Out the Vote themed party. Surrounded by security and Hollywood's elite, Diddy's stunt was a bold mix of history and celebrity culture, showcasing his ability to make even the most iconic symbols of American history part of his lavish lifestyle. 16. The VIP treatment. Diddy's parties changed hip-hop and American culture forever. In fact, going to one of Diddy's parties meant living the high life. Guests didn't just show up, they arrived in style, with personal stylists on hand to make sure everyone looked flawless. Lavish gift bags filled with designer goodies awaited them, while the food was out of this world, and bespoke cocktails flowed all night. The cultural impact of these events was huge, with photos and videos of the extravagance flooding social media, keeping everyone talking long after the party lights dimmed. Everyone wanted an invite. 15. The Poolside madness and custom cocktails. The poolside at Diddy's white parties was a spectacle of its own. Champagne showers, topless models, and fully dressed celebrities leaping into the water made it the epicenter of wild antics. A notable feature of Diddy's parties was the custom-created cocktails, mixed by bartenders flown in to match the extravagant setting. As one attendee described, it was like a mini circus, with no shortage of geishas, fire entertainers, and A-list guests enjoying the endless flow of premium liquor. 14. A night to remember or forget. Over time, Diddy's parties became infamous not just for their extravagance, but for what happened when the partying went too far. Guests frequently reported blackouts, claiming they had no memory of how the night ended after indulging in the endless flow of alcohol and drug-laced party favors. Many woke up with no clue how they even got home. As these stories spread, darker rumors surfaced, suggesting that certain drinks were spiked intentionally, leaving people vulnerable on purpose. 13. Ensuring secrecy and control. With high-profile guests and wild behavior, security at Diddy's parties was no joke. Upon arrival, guests were often required to hand over their phones, which were sealed in special bubble cases to prevent any unauthorized pictures or videos from being taken. And that was just the start. From metal detectors to private security teams roaming the venues, every effort was made to keep the real action away from prying eyes. Guests often found themselves in restricted areas, and anyone capturing the chaos was quickly intercepted by vigilant security. In fact, celebrity photographer Selma Fonseca once experienced this firsthand when Diddy's bodyguards demanded her camera for review, though her photos were ultimately returned. Secrecy was everything. 12. Private rooms for VIPs. While everyone at Diddy's parties was treated like a VIP, only a select few were granted access to the most exclusive areas. Celebrity photographer Selma Fonseca, who attended many of these events, revealed that while the main party was open to all, certain rooms, like the upstairs bedrooms and private living areas, were off limits unless personally invited by Diddy. Only select VIPs knew what went on behind those closed doors, but rumors of drug use and discreet encounters with sex workers were rampant. 11. From white parties to freak-offs. As Diddy's white parties evolved, they became notorious for what happened after hours, the infamous freak-offs. It was widely understood that by around 2 a.m., the party's atmosphere shifted drastically. Girls would start to lose their clothes, as one source recalled, signaling the start of the more debauched activities. While some celebrities left to avoid the escalating chaos, those who stayed behind witnessed or partook in wild behavior. Those who stayed behind found themselves amidst drug use and illicit activities that have since been detailed in legal battles. 10. Inside the freak-offs. The infamous freak-offs were tightly controlled by security. These after-parties often involved sex workers and heavy drug use that lasted for days. Plaintiffs' lawsuits alleged that participants were often coerced into taking drugs like ketamine and ecstasy, setting them up for manipulation and abuse. The physical toll on participants was so severe that IV fluids were sometimes needed for recovery. Federal investigations into these claims are still ongoing. 9. Trafficking and assault claims. Over the years, the accusations against Diddy have grown, leading to multiple lawsuits and federal investigations. Apart from the claims of people who were drugged and coerced at his notorious after-parties, he's also been accused of kidnapping, forced labor, arson, and running a sex trafficking operation. One of the most prominent accusations has come from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who in late 2023 filed a lawsuit accusing Diddy of years of abuse and forcing her into sexual acts during the infamous freak-offs. Another case filed in April 2024 by Grace O'Markey claims Diddy helped cover up an assault involving his son, Christian King Combs, on a yacht. These legal battles span back to the late 90s and early 2000s and have cast a very dark shadow over Diddy's legacy. 8. The illegal substances. Illegal substances played a troubling role at Diddy's notorious parties. Numerous personal accounts described how partygoers claimed their drinks were spiked, leaving them dazed and unable to recall what happened next. One such story comes from former model Jo Eskridge, who shared her experience at a 2008 New Year's Eve party at the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami. Eskridge said she began to feel off after taking a shot in Diddy's VIP section. Soon, things spiraled out of control, leading to a physical confrontation with security where she was hit on the head and lost consciousness. She later woke up on Diddy's yacht with no recollection of how she got there. 7. The use of video footage as blackmail. One of the most disturbing claims from Diddy's freak-off parties was the use of video footage to control and manipulate participants. Multiple sources claim that Diddy recorded the sexual encounters that took place during these secretive after-parties and used them as a form of blackmail, ensuring that no one involved would speak out about the scandalous and illegal activities they had witnessed or been coerced into. In September 2024, reports surfaced that one male sex worker had handed over explicit footage as evidence to federal authorities. These tapes, found during raids on Diddy's properties, are now at the center of ongoing criminal charges and paint a grim picture of the lengths to which Diddy and his associates allegedly went to maintain control over their victims. 6. The power players behind the scenes. Diddy's legendary parties didn't just come about as a result of his superstar power. He had a tight-knit inner circle and trusted associates who played a major role in their success. While Diddy was the face of these events, others worked behind the scenes to maintain exclusivity and elevate his status, ensuring that A-listers mingled, that the right image was presented, and that the party atmosphere thrived. In spite of the fact that very few specific names have surfaced due to ongoing investigations, these power players were crucial to orchestrating the mix of glamour and secrecy that defined his legendary events. 5. Facilitating the chaos. Many of Diddy's employees allegedly played key roles in facilitating his infamous after-parties. According to court documents and testimonies, these staff members were responsible for booking hotel rooms, arranging travel for sex workers, and handling the logistics of these secretive gatherings. They also ensured the privacy of the events, stocking the rooms with necessary supplies like drugs and lubricants. Their actions, from securing locations to maintaining discretion, are now under scrutiny and form part of the investigations. 4. The celebrity fallout. As Diddy's legal issues mounted, many former collaborators and celebrities who once benefited from their association with him have been forced to reassess their connections. Some stars have distanced themselves, either quietly or publicly. Figures like 50 Cent openly criticized Diddy's parties, while others like Ray J have claimed ignorance of the more nefarious activities. The fallout has extended beyond Diddy, raising questions about accountability among Hollywood's elite, raising questions about who knew what and when, and whether their silence was complicity. 3. Diddy's arrest and legal consequences. After allegations surfaced, Diddy reportedly fled the country in an attempt to evade the mounting legal troubles. However, he was eventually arrested in New York in September 2024, following federal raids on his homes. These raids uncovered incriminating evidence linked to his notorious parties, including items allegedly used in his freak-offs. He now faces a lifetime in prison. Once the undisputed king of New York's party scene, Diddy now sits in solitary confinement, denying the allegations while awaiting his trial, watching his empire crumble under the severe accusations. 2. No known number of victims. The indictment against Diddy outlines several serious offenses, but for the moment, it remains unclear exactly how many victims were involved. According to the prosecution, dozens of victims and witnesses have provided credible and corroborated testimony, and they've interviewed at least 50 individuals so far. This number is expected to rise as the investigation continues. Although the indictment's sex trafficking charge revolves around a single unnamed victim for now, authorities believe there could be many more, and the full scope of the case is yet to be revealed. 1. The global fight against sex trafficking. Diddy's fall from grace and subsequent arrest have put a massive spotlight on the global fight against human trafficking. I mean, if it can happen at parties in Hollywood and on private islands visited by royalty, it can and will happen anywhere, right? Organizations like the United Nations Global Initiative to Fight Human Trafficking are stressing the importance of international collaboration to address the crisis. It's a reminder that trafficking isn't just a poor man's issue. It crosses borders and impacts people at every level of society. The charges against Diddy have sent a clear message. No matter how wealthy or famous you are, you will still be held accountable for your actions. And that's a wrap. If today's deep dive into Diddy's rise and dramatic downfall interested you, then you'll definitely want to check out our list on the 25 biggest political scandals of our time. In that one, I tackle the Hillary Clinton email controversy, Lebanon's garbage crisis, and even the abuse of power in Panama. Trust me, it's one you don't want to miss. If you're ready to sink your teeth into it, click on this link right here, and I'll see you over there, and catch you next time.